You were told you need to perform at the next level to get promoted. But what does that actually mean? The average number of years people stay in their current position before being promoted is about 3 to 5 years. This, of course, depends on a lot of factors like your skills, your industry, job role, and even the company culture. I've seen people move up the ladder within less than a year, while others might stay over 5 years in the same role. But what happens when you find yourself on the longer end of that 3 to 5 years range? Maybe you've been in your position for a while now and you're wondering, why am I not climbing the career ladder as quickly as I'd like? You feel you're doing great work, but the promotion just isn't happening. Let's dive into what might be holding you back, and more importantly, how can you take control of your career path and start moving towards that next level. I'm not just sharing this advice because I've been through it personally. I'm sharing it because I've been on both sides of the table. In my last position, I managed an engineering organization of more than 100 engineers, architects, managers, directors, and had countless promotion conversations and calibrations. I've seen what it takes to move up the ladder, and I've helped many people do just that. So when I talk about career growth and promotions, it's coming from years of experience, both as someone who's climbed the ladder and as someone who's helped others do the same. Here's something I strongly believe in. Doing the same thing for a long time won't push you to the next level. If you want to move up, you have to start operating at that next level even before you get the title. Whether you're a junior engineer looking to become a senior engineer, or you're an individual contributor looking to lead a team, the key is to start thinking and acting differently and to learn the skills needed to do that. For example, if you're an engineer focused on fixing simple defects, even if you do that for years, it doesn't automatically make you a senior engineer. To get there, you need to understand the code at different level. You need to learn and understand architecture, QA, deployment, and just start thinking about the bigger picture. Here's a common dilemma. Do you wait until you're promoted to start performing at that next level, or should you already be operating at that higher level to prove that you're ready for that promotion? It's like the famous question, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? In my experience, it's a bit of both. You have to demonstrate that you can handle the next level's responsibilities to some extent, but once you're promoted, that's when you truly step up and grow into that role. Now let's talk about tech-specific roles. Transitioning from an associate engineer to an engineer to senior or staff engineer involves a significant evolution in how you approach your work and your skill sets at each position. As an associate engineer, it's common to focus on specific tasks such as identifying where in the code base you need to make changes, adding small features, or copying and modifying existing code snippets. At this stage, you might not have full understanding of the entire framework or the overall architecture of the platform, and that's okay. The focus here is on learning and building confidence in your technical skills. However, as you plan to move up to the next level, the expectation shifts from executing tasks to developing a deeper understanding of the system as a whole. As an engineer, you're expected to go beyond just knowing how to edit a piece of code. You should start understanding why the code is structured the way it is, how different components interact, how your changes fit into the bigger picture. At this level, you should feel comfortable exploring any part of that code base, making modifications, adding new functionalities without necessarily relying on seeing a demonstrated example first. This transition is about building confidence in your ability to understand and navigate the entire code base. Now, when you move to a senior engineering role, the expectations rise even further. Now, it's not just about understanding the code. You're expected to understand the architecture of the entire system, suggest improvements, design new solutions. You should be comfortable leading discussions about architecture, making decisions on how to structure new features, understanding the full deployment pipeline. You're expected to know how the pieces work together, where they are configured, and how to optimize the platform for better performance and scalability. In senior engineering roles, you're not only a coder, but you're also an architect. You're a mentor to others. You guide them through complexities of the code and you explain it to them and you help them grow in their roles. So the journey from an associate engineer to a senior engineer is about deepening your knowledge as well as broadening your perspective. It's about moving from task execution to system understanding and then to engineering, innovation, and leadership. I worked with a mentee in the past who was a software engineer, and she just felt stuck in her role. That's what we were working on during our mentorship. Her manager was very supportive. They encouraged her to take on senior engineer responsibilities to get promoted. But she just couldn't quite understand what that meant. What does it mean to take on a senior engineer responsibilities? I walked her through what I just covered for each engineering level. I also gave her an advice that had 4 parts. The first one was start by observing senior engineers. Watch what they do, how they think, how they speak up and engage in planning meetings, how they influence decisions. These things are often happening right in front of us, but unless we're actively paying attention, we might just miss them. The second part of the advice was once you identify some of the unique knowledge and skills that they have, figure out your favorite or most effective learning method to learn these skills. Is it by watching videos, reading articles, reading books, or is it hands-on experimenting? Identify how you can stay up to date with technology trends. Is it through attending conferences, meetups, or just conversations with colleagues? The third part of the advice was reaching out to senior engineers in the company who she respects and ask to shadow them for a period of time that they both agree on. Maybe attend meetings with them, maybe even do pair programming with them. From my own experience, many engineers welcome and appreciate these requests and are usually more than willing to do that and help out. But here's the thing, you can't just be a passive observer during the shadowing period. You're there to understand what it takes to perform at the next level. So take advantage of that opportunity and make the best out of it. And also, just a side note, let your manager know that you're doing that so they can support you in this journey and this effort. The fourth part of the advice, the last one, is I recommended that she find a mentor outside of her department because sometimes that fresh perspective is exactly what we need to really understand what performing at the next level means. Now, I have a couple of more examples I want to share with you. So here's another scenario. Let's say you're an individual contributor aiming for a leadership role. Let's say you want to become a people manager. You could start by becoming a team lead, driving the team to deliver on time, supporting them, leading architectural discussions with them, even if people don't officially report to you, because that's the kind of work that gets you noticed for a manager role. Here's another example in the people leadership space. Let's say you're a manager aiming to get promoted to a director role. Now, your scope of influence needs to expand. As a manager, you're primarily focused on your team, ensuring they meet their goals, they deliver, you help them develop and grow. But as a director, your responsibility extends beyond your immediate team. You need to think strategically about how different teams and projects align with the company's objectives, how to foster cross-team collaborations, and how to contribute to the overall success of the organization. This requires not only a shift in focus, but also a shift in your skill set, in how you think, how you communicate, how you influence, and how you lead. The key takeaway I want you to leave with is that advancing to the next level in your career isn't just about doing more of the same work at a higher volume. It's about fundamentally shifting the way you think and the work you do. Because at each stage of your career, the expectations change as well. And not just in terms of technical skills, but also in how you think, how you engage with others, and how you contribute to the broader goals of the organization. Remember, getting promoted isn't about time served. It's about growth, visibility, and showing that you're ready for the next challenge. So start acting at the next level and the promotion will follow. If this resonates with you, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to advance your career in tech. And as always, if you have questions or need advice, drop them in the comments and I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.